Welcome back. The Constitutional Court has denied AfriForum's leave to appeal a Supreme Court decision which states that Kill the Boer song does not constitute hate speech. The court found that there is no reasonable prospect for success. AfriForum and the affiliated groups claim that the chanting of the struggle song is linked to farm killings. Meanwhile, the Minister in the Presidency, Ntshavheni, says that the South African Police Service has met with AfriForum to clarify allegations of white genocide. Let's now discuss the latest ruling and related matters with AfriForum CEO Kriel. Kriel, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. We've seen some bit of reaction to the Constitutional Court decision not to even entertain the appeal. And part of what you had said is the radicalization of the courts. Why do you make that argument?
Good morning to you, Aldrin. Well, we make that argument because we are seeing a growing number of judges that are ideologically driven. And that, of course, has huge implications because with the political transition in 1994, the indication was given that the Constitution and the Constitutional Court would give protection to human rights, and those human rights would also, of course, then include the human rights of Afrikaners. With a shocking judgment like this seems no longer the case. You can sing or chant that somebody should be killed, and it's fine. And if I can give a specific example of a judge, Judge Raylene Keatley, she's in the appeal court.
Sorry, Judge who?
Raylene Keatley.
Raylene?
Raylene, that's correct.
Yes.
She was, before our court case regarding this matter, a few years before that, she openly stated that negative attitudes towards AfriForum, insults towards AfriForum, which shows a clear bias. We then said, and that was also now part of our case to the Constitutional Court, if you're going to have a judge that is clearly has an ideological bias towards you, she should not be on the bench. And the judges of the appeal court said, no, it's fine. She can be there. The Constitutional Court disregarded this. And in that case, I think we have serious problems or trouble because I think the glue in this country was people thinking that the Constitutional Court and the Constitution gives us protection, and it seems it's no longer so. But we won't take this lying down. The fact is we have self-respect. I have 4 children, and it doesn't matter who argues what with what is the meaning of it. If my children hear somebody sings, kill the Boer, which means they should be killed, it is an infringement of their dignity. It reduces them to second-class citizens in the country of their birth. So we will fight this. We have a two-pronged approach. And making us worse is that you have somebody in the presidency that refuses to condemn these chants, the president himself. And then you have a minister in that presidency that blatantly lies, that seems to have no integrity, by saying AfriForum said things in a meeting that is not so.
Okay. Let's just quickly pause there. We'll come back to what Minister in the Presidency, Ntshavheni, had said. So you've made a number of allegations, including with regards to Justice Keatley. This matter was dealt with in the Supreme Court of Appeal after you had asked for her recusal, and it was dismissed. You did try once again, as we note, with the application to the Constitutional Court to have this matter revisited. You have failed on that part. And then you go on to say that the song actually says that the meaning of the judgment means that it's okay to say that you will kill somebody. But that's not what the court had said. The Supreme Court of Appeal had said that the chanting of the song is in relation to a political system, not individuals, and the killing of individuals.
You know, that's the problem. That kind of argument has total disrespect for the dignity of Afrikaners and the dignity of farmers. Because it doesn't matter what kind of argument you give. People are chanting, kill the Boer, kill the farmer. They're making sounds, mimicking gunshots when they do so, and they are provocative in doing so. So if the courts think that is fine, then I have a serious problem with the courts. then we have to say, okay, we now need alternative solutions. If the courts are not going to protect us, if the president is not going to say anything, then we'll have to protect ourselves within the framework of the law. We will strengthen our 177 neighborhood watches and farm watches, because if people are saying we should be killed, we need to be able to defend ourselves.
But we just said, Kali, that the court is not saying that individuals should be killed, but what the court has found and accepted on behalf of the argument that was made by Julius Malema, including the experts that was before the Supreme Court of Appeal, was that this is a political song and it speaks to a political system, which the court is also linked to, for instance, some of the priorities that the EFF has set out for itself, including economic transformation as well as land restitution.
Well,
okay, let me ask the question this way. Let me ask the question this way, Kali. Why do you think that the court is wrong to say that this is about a political system and not necessarily about calling on people to be killed?
Because there's another very important factor that the court totally ignored, and now the Constitutional Court even refused to hear that argument. The fact is, it doesn't matter what the intentions of the song is. It infringes on the dignity of a people, and it frightens young people, it frightens children. And what the court has now said, it doesn't matter if children hear that they could be killed because they understand it, they don't understand it correctly. This court has now shown disrespect for the dignity of Afrikaners and farmers, and we won't take that lying down. Apart from protecting ourselves locally, we will take this internationally. Already last night, I instructed our legal team to make sure what the options are for us to take this to international courts and to the UN. We will not accept in the country of our birth that somebody can chant, kill the Boer, kill the farmer, and then insulting us by saying we must now accept that they have some kind of figurative meaning.
So you want to take it...
not figuratively. Our dignity is not disrespected figuratively. It's literally.
So you're going to take it to the. So you're going to take it to the United Nations, one of the platforms, or one of the places that you think that this matter can be dealt with. Is this the very same United Nations that has declared apartheid a crime against humanity, which every forum denies to date?
No, we never denied that they said that. The question was...
No, you are denying that apartheid is a crime against humanity.
No, that was not the question. If you're asking me, is it a crime against humanity? It is. The Rome Statute of 2000 declared it a human rights abuse. The question in that specific debate was looking back into the past, into 1950. The judge even found that interview, I was not given a chance to state my point. That judge also found that I in no way tried to protect discriminatory action. But it is the same United Nations. And if the United Nations took a stance against the infringement of the dignity of people in the past through discriminatory racial laws, we expect of that same United Nations to now take a strong stance against the infringement of our dignity when people can say, kill the Boer, kill the farmer, and we are just expected, and even worse, those are radical elements. What is worse is that there are many others in this country that says it's fine, which says, well, the dignity of Afrikaners are of lesser value because this song has some kind of historical significance. That is the shocking part of it. But fortunately, 80% on grassroots level, people want to work together. We were yesterday at the Boer with a project. So we are going ahead there, but we will not take it lying down.
Let's ask this question, Kali. When the EFF celebrated its 10th anniversary, you saw that stadium was packed to the brim. After the chanting of that song, how many Afrikaners were murdered because of the chanting of that song?
Well, of course, one can never say it was exactly because of that song, but one can also not say
But that's the
that it
argument
was
that has
not.
been put
There were
forward.
three murders.
That is
There
the
were three
argument.
murders.
That
There were three murders.
but the court has said that there's no causal link.
But there does not have to be a causal link to be proven. That is
the
not
most
what the law
recent.
says.
Let's speak about the most recent incident where again Julius Malema sang this song. How many Afrikaners were murdered because of the singing of that song?
Well, there's on average one a week. I did not follow that. But for the same argument, you cannot say there wasn't any. But this is not our point. The law says you don't have to show that there's a direct link. And that is why these courts are biased. What you have to show is that it is hurtful. And
yes, but that's what the court is saying, that just because it's hurtful, just because it's hurt. No, the court didn't say that. The court said just because it's hurtful, and it made reference to the Kwelani case as well. Just because it's hurtful doesn't necessarily mean it's hateful.
No, it is hateful, but of course, the fact is the court makes a mistake if it says you have to show there's a link. That is not what the law says, but you have a biased judiciary that looked at this case. They are hell-bent on fighting the battles of the past, not protecting the dignity of Afrikaners.
Okay.
And they will now try and find all these arguments.
So does this then...
Yes.
Does this then mean that AfriForum will no longer take that Expropriation Act to the courts because these courts are biased?
Well, I did not say all courts are biased, but it now becomes a lottery. Which judge are you going to get? What is the judge's view in terms of their own ideology? Because we've now seen that they are not hesitant to use their ideology when they make a statement or make a judgment. So that is why this is a serious problem. If we don't have the protection of the courts and the Constitution, well, then we're on our own and we'll have to protect ourselves.